So, hi, I'm Ryan for Ryan's Guitar Stuff, and today's video is a bit of a weird one. I don't usually do these types of videos. Well, I've been doing them a bit more often lately. Today's video is me changing a set of strings on the guitar. Bit of a boring video, but it's not your typical 9, putting on the new set of 9s. This is going from 9s on this guitar to 13 to 62s. So yeah, I'll get into it and show you what you need to do to go up such an amount of gauges. Okay. First thing you want to do, get the gauge you have and want, and see what gauge of files you need or other stuff like that. So I'm using null files. Cool. And everything can flop out enough. Grand. Next thing is snip off the strings. First, I have my sheets. So some of the strings will be easier to gauge up. For example, some of the strings will be easier to make new slots for. For example, the original slot on this set, on this nut, was a 10, and what I'm putting onto it is a 13, I believe, if I can find the packet now. For strings like the low E, which will go from a 46, because that's what I had strung on this, to 62. So it's going up nearly 20. And the reason I'm doing this is not for any other reason than I've been doing the thing of getting doubles of some guitars and detuning them. So for example, I have a pickup combination for every guitar in standard, and I usually have one for C standard that I can drop down, and this will be my drop tuned C standard. So let's get into it. So first thing first, you put new strings on. Oh my lord. Oh boy. That is a thick string. This is my first time using 13 to 60. Oh my god, that's just a bass string. God damn it, what's a bass gauge? Oh, okay. So, the low string is the same thickness as the D string on the bass. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Two. Oh wow, that's such a big string. Will this even fit into the peg hole? Oh what? That's a really tight fit. Okay, so while I string this up, I'll explain what goes on next. So I'm going to just enlarge the slots just enough. So, for example, they're cut to the depth I want them cut to. Okay? And I'm not going to change the depth, I'm just going to widen it. Okay, so I have to get the 56 here and slot this. So And that's it. That's the only awkward one to do, like I said, because I haven't got a gauge file big enough for it. Kind of thing about it is you don't really need a gauge file once you get up to that kind of gauge. So next is 46. The benefits of using thicker strings, because I need to fill the space with me talking about something, because it's going to be a pretty boring video if it's just me cutting this nut and restringing the guitar. So the benefits of using thicker strings is for down tuning. I've got a Mustang over there, strung with 12 to 60, and the benefits of it is I can tune to C standard, and the string tension is actually quite nice on that guitar. So, for example, this will probably be C standard, even though I would like to put a lighter gauge of string on this, to be perfectly honest, but it will do me for the time being. If you're into your down tunes, this is a must, because it makes total sense. There's no point having a lighter set of strings down tuned, because the strings will just wobble and cause fret buzz. Whereas thicker strings give you more tension and allow you to down tune. That's the benefits. So next string is 26. So let me see if I can find 28 is the closest file I'll have to it. So let's So this is also my first time using the wound G string, oddly enough. Okay, so I haven't cut that string slot yet, and it would not fit into it. So that just shows you have to cut the slot beforehand. So this is what happens when you go up an extreme amount of gauge. Usually nuts are cut for about 9 to 40, 9s or 10s out of the factory, but if you're going for your ultimate drop tuning, or if you know you want to go down, like up gauges and down tuning, this is the way to do it. And the other reason the nut has to be cut is allow the string to go freely between the nut. What's on this is a ridiculous gauge of strings, and I'm going to tune. Where's my tuner? So that's the modifications you do for drop tuning. And for anyone that's interested, it's a very intensive thing to do. Cutting the nut slot isn't that expensive, but if you don't like it and you want to go back, it's quite an expensive thing to do, because it's 30, well, not expensive, but it's not the cheapest thing in the world to get done. Getting the new nuts, it can vary from, some people charge 30 where I live, some people charge 50, depending on what you want. So yeah, it's not a cheap thing to get replaced, but if it's what you want, yeah, it's perfect. So I've been Ryan for Ryan's Guitar Stuff, and see you next time. Bye.